Hello, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Before we begin, how do you say your last name, Veronica?
Heidebrecht.
Heidebrecht. Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted to start off
It's a
and make sure I got
mouthful,
that
for sure.
right. So before we start, I want to let you know who I am and what we're here to do today. My name's Stephanie, and I am currently a social work student working here with the university, and I help the actual licensed social workers by doing their intake process, which is the first interview, and all I do is just get to know you and help them be able to help you. So I'm just like that little stepstone to get you where you need to go. Before we start discussing, I do want to go over a couple things with you. What we talk about today, everything you say to me will be kept between us, and that's referred to as confidentiality. So what you tell me should be kept between us unless I feel that you or someone else are being harmed, and then I am able to speak out. But everything else stays here between you and me. So with that, do you have any questions before we get started?
No, I don't think so.
We're good? Okay. So what brings you in today?
I have just really been struggling with co-parenting. It's one thing for me to co-parent with my ex, my son's dad, and everything was really easy, but now I'm dating someone else and having to consult him and then his ex-wife for things that concern all three of our kids. It's just a mess.
A mess. Okay.
Mhm.
So what we're dealing with is, so you had a child with someone else, and now you're currently dating someone else who also has, I'm assuming, 2 other children, because you only have 1.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're here to is try to figure out a balance between the 3 of you. Would you say that you get along with everyone? Is it at least like you can speak as adults?
No.
No.
Not
No.
at all. From the time that she met me, she was just really hateful. Like, it took her from the time we got from the door to the car for her to be texting my boyfriend just bad things about me, and that was the first time that she had met me. We hadn't even spent 5 minutes together, and it hasn't gotten any better.
Okay. So what we're dealing with mostly is his ex-wife.
Yeah, and I know that I can't change her, but I need to, I guess, have better coping skills to be able to deal with her.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. Man, it's always difficult when there's somebody else involved, and just because it's your children. So obviously, I think something you guys should establish as a whole is definitely what is better for our kids. Can we set aside that we may disagree with each other and what we as individuals and parents do to do what's best for our kids?
Yeah.
Aside from him, your boyfriend, and your ex, who else would you look to for advice? Have you talked to anybody else about this, or is this your first time reaching out?
Well, I'm really close with my grandma.
Your grandmother, awesome.
Yeah, the only thing is, like, I love talking to her, but I can't really take advice from her. She's very critical of me. Like, she always makes a comment like, this wouldn't happen if you were a lesbian. Like, it's basically saying, like, I wouldn't have problems with other people's wives if I had my own. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to talk to her about certain things just because of that.
Okay. Is there anybody else you have, or do you primarily communicate with your grandma?
Yeah, my grandma's like,
Your rock?
yeah. She and I are really close. But, oh God, I hope it's still recording.
Yeah.
But so she and I are really close, and besides that, I talk to God a lot.
Okay, so you're religious. What do you look for in God? Well, what does God represent for you? Like, what does he do for you to help you?
So in this particular situation, I just ask God to give me wisdom on, like, what to say and what to do. And God's greatest commandment to me is love. So being able to love her and be nice to her, despite the fact that she is very evil towards me.
Yeah. I think that's actually really great that you search to love others even when you don't agree with them. I think that's already a huge step for you. That's great progress, that without even having to contact them, because you're willing to try, and if one person's willing to try, we're already making 5 steps forward.
Yeah, thank you.
So with that, so you have kids and you have a relationship. Are you working as well?
I am. I actually work 2 jobs. I work a full 40 at a bank, and then I also teach dance on like some evenings and on the weekends.
Look at you balancing that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And are you currently in school as well?
I am taking, I think, 13 hours in school right now, so I'm in school full time.
Okay, and what are you in school for?
Social work.
Social work. Well, see, you already have a caring personality. This is great. You're willing. It already seems like you're willing to help others. So with her, when it comes down to it, what's something that you want to, if you can fix something tomorrow with her, what is the first thing you would want to fix? What's your biggest issue going on with her?
I think maybe thickening my skin, because just from the kind of person that she's been, like I don't see any change happening anytime soon. So just being able to withstand it and not get so upset in the meantime.
So be the bigger person without letting her hateful words at times get to you.
Right.
Okay,
right.
I think that's good that you're able to analyze that you don't want to let what she says to you hurt you. And that's great. That's good. You're wanting to protect yourself in the best way possible. Have you guys tried counseling as a whole for your children yet, or?
Well, you know, I have actually suggested the whole counseling, and even if it's not with me involved, but I guess that's something they tried during their marriage, and she took it as a joke, so.
It just wasn't something that worked for her. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand. So what would be a goal we want to set for the next time we meet? So right now we've decided that what you want is to be tougher, right? If you could, you would be tougher and not let what she says get to her. In what ways could you fix this within the next week before I see you again?
Maybe my confidence building? I don't
Yeah,
know.
so what to you makes you feel better about yourself?
I don't know.
Is it
like-
dressing up? Is it working out?
So I have things that I like to do to kind of like de-stress, but
Right.
I don't know if that necessarily like helps me be confident. I really like walking and running.
Well, does
So-
running and walking make you feel good about yourself?
No, it makes me want to die.
It makes you wanna
And,
die.
Like I want to
Right.
roll over in the street.
Right, but so do you think that maybe a stress relief would be something that we should work on? Is just you relaxing and maybe not stressing so much on her opinions of you?
And that could work. Yeah.
Okay, so how about for next week we plan on you doing your de-stressors, whether I would recommend walking if running makes you feel like dying, maybe going on some walks, doing those little things that make you feel more you and relaxed. That way, when you have to deal with her while she's not changing, you just feel better about yourself and know that you can do this and it's okay. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you. We'll see you next time. Hopefully, we'll have gone on a couple walks by then, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hey!